There are good book tropes, and then there's some bad book tropes. This video, however, is going to focus on the bad book tropes, or my least favorite book tropes. Maybe not bad to other people, but in my opinion, I just do not personally like them. So let's get right onto it because there's kind of a lot. First off, I don't really like the chosen one trope in ways where it's used in an annoying way. Like chosen one tropes that I like just because it's used in a good way is like Harry Potter or Percy Jackson, kind of like, because those ones work. Like the chosen one trope makes sense, but it's annoying when it's just like put in there and just used very annoyingly. The trope that's used mostly in like mental health books where like people think that a romance or a relationship is gonna fix them. Like, no, like you need medical consultation and help. Like, falling in love with someone isn't gonna fix like your OCD or whatever problem you have. Like, that just doesn't make sense. Love triangles can just like die in a hole. Like, just like get out of here. Like, bye, Felicia. The quote, I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. Like, how do you not know that you're not breathing? Any situation with insta love, just like, no, like, you need development. I absolutely despise bad boy characters or like evil, type characters. It's just most of the time it's like they also have the main protagonist, if it's a girl, fall in love with said character, which is totally annoying and does not even make sense. Like, oh yeah, this person murdered 30 people. I'm so in love with him. Like, oh, you're so attractive. Like, no, like in real life, that would never happen. These types of characters include the Darkling from the Grisha trilogy and Warner from the Shatter Me trilogy. Like, I don't know why people like these characters. Like, they're blatantly outright say that they're evil. Like, and I haven't read Ignite Me yet, so I don't know how Warner turns out. So don't be all like, oh, you hate Warner, like, oh, but I love him, or I love the Darkling. Like, that's your opinion, this is mine. Like, I'll respect your opinion if you respect mine. Underdeveloped dystopian worlds, like, when they say, like, oh, there was a shift, or a change, or like a plague, and it's like, oh, this was the world before, now it's like this, and then you don't really like clarify how this world changed to be a dystopian world. That's really annoying. The quotes, I'm different. I'm not like other girls. Like that just turns me off to your book whenever I read that in like a premise or something. Killing off characters in books or creating a huge plot twist just solely for the purpose of a shock value, like if it's not developed beforehand and just comes out of nowhere. Romance in paranormal books, especially young adult paranormal books, it's even labeled as the genre paranormal romance, which annoys the crap out of me because like I just want to read a paranormal story and not like some like, oh, this brooding vampire person, or like, oh, this person with paranormal powers, like, oh, like, no, that's not what I want to read. And I know some books are dubbed as paranormal romance, so like you already kind of are supposed to know beforehand. But sometimes, like, if the romance isn't good, that's even more annoying. Like, if the romance is good, I'll appreciate it, but if it's not, it just kind of deteriorates the quality of the book for me. Evil characters who people like and just justify their evil actions just because they were raised bad, or oh, they had a harsh childhood. Like, okay, but that doesn't mean that you can just go around and like be killing people or doing evil things. Like, that's not okay. Mary Sue or Gary Stu character, that main female protagonist of a book who's always like, I'm plain, like I'm not beautiful. Like get over yourself. Like, are you trying to make us feel sorry for you? Any book with then and now timeline perspectives, like that's just confusing. Like, tell the story in order, it just makes it more confusing. Character or setting names that are completely ridiculous. And this is especially prevalent in dystopian or futuristic science fiction books. Having a main female protagonist as a skinny brown haired girl. Okay, there's like a million books with that protagonist. Like, at least be creative. There are so many books that have this in them. I mean, Twilight, for example, Mind Games by Kirsten White, Delirium by Lauren Oliver. There's a lot more that I could name. Info dumping is really annoying, or very descriptive passages, like if you're saying like, oh, the long brown road was dusty and there was pebbles on the side of the road and the weeds and the grass. Like, okay, just stop. Like, this has no relevance to the story whatsoever. And info dumping, like especially in fantasy books, is kind of annoying because it's like all this information coming at you at once, and it's kind of boring but also kind of important, so you like have to read it several times because you like lose your place. It's just overall a no. And finally, repetition of a certain phrase throughout the whole book. It's really annoying. Just stop. The most recent example I've seen of this is in Mind Games by Kirsten White. The main character, Fia, throughout the whole book, she said that she tapped her leg and like 3 times. So those are all the book tropes that I compiled that I did not really personally like. Do you agree with some of these? Or do you disagree? Do you have any others that you don't like? Let me know in the comments. I'll see you in my next video, so bye!